Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first session of 5-Day Rejuvenator. We're going to help send your business to the moon. My name is Jeff Talbot, and I'm very excited to be with you today. Now, I'm going to ask you to do something a little creative. Have you ever fallen out of love? Think about it. How did it feel? Maybe, how does it feel right now? Why did it happen? How did it happen? I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and remember for a full 15 seconds just one of the times that you fell out of love with a person or anything. Don't open your eyes until I ask you. Let's start now. You can open your eyes. If there is an image in life, any moment in this world, any moment in time that grants me the wings to fly, or you the wings to fly, to soar, to float on the breeze, to live in a way that is incredibly free, it's this moment when the golden sun dares to strike the morning sky with glorious, incredible, impossible light. It is this new, beautiful image of hope that strikes us even on the darkest days of our businesses and our lives, reminding us all that yesterday is in the grave and that today is always a new day, that anything is possible, that love lost is simply love waiting to be found, that there are glorious multiple seeds of hope sprouting in the most desolate ground. Believe, believe. Today is new. Cast your eyes to the horizon. Feel the warmth of the sun. Allow hope to sprout in your most desolate place, because this is where grace is, in the warmth of the morning, in the arms of the rising sun. Why do I begin this way, guys, with a poem about hope? Because in many ways, it does not matter today if you are feeling any of the following, and you can acknowledge if you are. If you're feeling jaded by your business, if you're feeling burned out, if you're feeling discouraged, anxious, uncertain, tired, no longer in love with your business, it really doesn't matter. This is a normal part of life and business. You've felt it before and you will feel it again. Why does it not matter? Because love lost is just love waiting to be reborn, and you spend so much of your day working in your business that we want to find the love and the passion and the focus again. And I believe that everyone taking this training, everyone on this call, I believe that you are on the edge of an incredible new discovery. You might see the sun on the horizon, but I think it's going to get a lot brighter and things are going to come a lot clearer as you move forward over the next 5 days. The incredible opportunity to fall in love with what you do every day all over again is right before each one of us. But you can't find it, and I think this is really important. You cannot try to find what you had before. It's changed forms. And one of the reasons we lose love is we were in love with something that was previous and not now. So let's think of this new love with new opportunities and new possibilities. So I want you to imagine now starting each day fueled with passion for what you're doing, passion for real estate, for insurance, for whatever it is that you're selling, absolute passion, really focused and really clear in exactly what you need to do to succeed, and full of creative expression, being able to express this passion and this focus very powerfully in a creative way on the social media channels and in life as well. Any relationship comes with serious obstacles and challenges, and without love, it's impossible to thrive. And these are just some of the external challenges that most of us face in our businesses. We have difficult clients. Hands up who's never had a difficult client. Anybody? Anybody put up if they've never had a difficult client. How many of your clients are difficult? Have you ever had one? I certainly have. Deals that collapse. These are frustrating things. They are real things. Market blips and crashes that everything seems to be going so well, and then something happens completely out of your control. Dishonest colleagues. Anyone here had a dishonest colleague before? I see some hands raised. I see some hands raised. Commission warlords. People who will try and rob you of what you're worth, of your value, by trying to get your commission down, like trying to negotiate your commission. These are tough things. Financial anxiety from the ups and downs of working by commission, very real. How many people have never had any financial anxiety on this call? Anybody? I'm not seeing any hands raised for that, huh? And then family. Sometimes family don't understand. They don't understand this kind of business that we're running. They don't understand our drive to put ourselves in a risky situation where the upside is huge, but the downside is stressful sometimes. So we all we all face these kinds of challenges and many more, but without the passion and the love of the business and of what we're doing, and without hope, it makes the business very frustrating and very difficult, and it's very depressing when these things happen all of a sudden, and it wears us out. We feel tired and jaded, and so we have to get that passion, that energy back to push through these things. We're never going to have a business where these things don't happen. We may be able to build one where they happen less, and that's part of the 5-day focus today. Is building a business where this happens less, but we also want to be able to move on quickly when it happens too. So here's what I want to do today. I want to help you find really excellent rocket fuel for your business. Really bring back the passion and bring back the focus. And from there, we'll move on to other things. The structure of today's training looks like this. I'm going to talk about falling in love all over again. I feel like I've already done that. Then we're going to talk about the mystery behind your big reason, your rocket fuel. We're going to talk about the different types of rocket fuel. I'm going to ask you to connect in the present with what is your key motivation for success. And then we're going to curse about it. I'm going to show you how a curse word can be very helpful in energizing you. Some of you might not like that, but I'm going to talk you through it. And then we're going to talk about how to constantly remain fueled, because it's really important that it's just not a big, exciting beginning, but you have a process in place to keep your energy up. And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the next 5 days. Are you guys with me? Are you ready to discover all the different types of rocket fuel? I'm seeing another hand raise. You guys are hand raisers. Most people on these calls don't raise their hand quite as much as all of you, but I'm seeing you raising your hand. I'm loving it. This is great. I'm excited. So let's go ahead now. The mystery behind your big reason rocket fuel. Now, number one, it's about now and it's about the future. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to hang on to a past motivation. It really doesn't work. So it's got to be in the present. I'm going to give you an example of this. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and share my own motivation. So you can see this rather groovy, well, I think it's groovy picture of me in the hat. I'm only wearing a hat in one picture. This is when I first came to Los Angeles. I was motivated by a big dream, by working in film, by all sorts of things, and I think I was pretty cool. People used to think I looked like Kid Rock, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. However, that was what was motivating me, my big dream, artistic dream. Now, a lot of things happened in my life since then, as you can see. There's myself with my wife on our wedding day. There's my son, Gabriel. There's my daughter, Amelie Rose. And there's us in a family photo on the right. Now, it's really hard for me to hook my success right now into living out this big dream. It might come back later, but it's not going to motivate me right now. Life's changed. There's too much in the way. And so it's important that I and that you create a dream or a reason that is really big for you in the present, that it's not something from the past. If it's from the past, it's going to be disconnected and you're going to have to fight a lot to feel motivated by it. It has to be now and it has to be in the immediate future. So it's really a simple question, which is where is your most tangible source of motivation right now? And I'm going to take you through a variety of different types of motivation. And be aware too, it's not just one thing for all time. It might change throughout the day. There might be different angles and flavors and reasons why you need to succeed in your business right now. And when we connect with it strongly, we succeed. So let me again look at the two reasons that motivate me right now. I'm just sharing them with you because they're very different. And so, again, this is a slight shift. So probably a year ago, I would tell you my motivation to succeed in my business was that I wanted to be able to take my children back to see um, their grandmother, my mom, in New Zealand at least one more time before she passes away. She's 83 years old. She's not in perfect health, right? And so that was a primary motivation. I got to succeed. I got to create this flexible business where I can work from everywhere, where I can, afford to take my kids back to New Zealand. It's really expensive and spend some good time there, right? So that's a very strong motivation for me, right? And then what's happened recently, which is frustrating, is my son has been saying, look, I want a dog. I want to get a husky puppy. Now, we live in a building where we cannot have a dog. We live in an apartment complex. And so that means I have to figure out, like, how can we move to a big place with a lawn? Because, my goodness, huskies need a lot of exercise. And every single day, my son is saying, I want a husky. I want a husky. It's getting frustrating, but I'm going to show you in a second how that frustration can be a driving motivation for you. So I can hang on to the grandma thing, or I can choose to focus more on what's immediate and right before me right now as a reason to needing to succeed. So just be aware that motivation shifts and there are different angles on the same thing. I'm still being motivated by my family in most situations. It's also a sacred thing. Your rocket fuel belongs to no one else but you. And I want you to be aware of that because one of the biggest mistakes we make is we choose a motivation or a reason that actually belongs to somebody else. We don't do the hard work of saying, hey, what's really important to me? Just have a chat message come up. Settle grandma on a husky ranch. That's perfect, Bob. Yes, I should do that. Bob just put a funny thing in chat. That's amazing. So it's sacred and it's got to belong to you and no one else, and it's got to be deeply personal. So let's go ahead here. Your different types of rocket fuel. So I'm going to go through 5 different categories of motivation that could really fuel you to succeed and really make success and drive easy for you because they're things that you're passionate about achieving. Now, as we go through them, I want you to be aware of which ones resonate most with you. I'm going to talk through each particular one with different examples. This is the real meat of this particular training. And I want you to listen to what resonates. If you've signed up for the 5-day training, there is going to be an exercise posted later today in the Rejuvenator Hub where you'll be able to go in and fill out a form and it will help you further clarify this. So the first type of fuel for your dream is the family fuel. So children, this is what I just expressed to you. This need to succeed to provide for family is really big and really important. And if it's yours right now, it shouldn't be ignored. It's going to be a primary motivation. And let it sit in there, guys. Don't just really feel the need to succeed. Stop for a moment and say, look, I'm on my own here, and I have 2 children, a child. I have to make this work. I'm going to make this work, and I'm going to make it work for this particular person in my life. Don't just gloss over it. Really feel it. The feeling is actually very important. The importance here is to take your why or your rocket fuel from being an intellectual space to being a heart space, be a place in your heart, because it's that passion that comes out of your heart that will drive you and help you to thrive. An intellectual thought is something you have to fight for. Passion fights for you instead. Spouses, sometimes we have to do something for our spouse. We might have a sick spouse, or or a spouse that's tired and needs to retire, and this becomes a focus for us, and we're driven by it strongly. Parents, perhaps we have older parents that we have to look after, and we need to achieve a certain level of financial success to provide for them. Any of these resonating? Raise your hand if any of these are resonating. Extended family. For some of us, we have to work hard providing for extended family. We are the financial provider for a large group of people. Retirement. For some of us, we're getting older and we're saying, damn it, I have to retire soon. I don't want to work until I'm 70 years old. I need, I need, I need to work with this. And some of us, it's freedom for family. You want to be able to travel with your family, see the world with your family. These are important fuels. And I'm asking you right now to really zero in on what your fuel is and what's important to you. Got it? Supporting kids through college is another perfect example. Thank you, that person who put that in chat. Very important. And then there's the dream fuel, okay? So family fuel, number one. Dream fuel, number two. Some of us are motivated by accumulating strong personal wealth. You might have strong personal goals. There's going to be overlap on all these dreams too. So some might be family and personal wealth. For some, it's escaping to thrive. You've been in this 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 in America, really, isn't it? Absolute like rat race and stuck in traffic, and you want the freedom to thrive, to invest in other things. If some of these are you, raise your hand. You might have a life goal, something you've always wanted to do that's very expensive. You might want to climb Mount Everest, for example, but you need to succeed financially first to be able to do this. This is important. I can resonate with this. You might want to you might need financial leverage to change things. You might want to free up your time so that you can be heavily involved in politics or in your community. So just be aware that this is another dream. I've got a dream of being a change maker, but I need to succeed financially. And so again, let me know if any of these are resonating. It might be a step to freedom for you that you've been, all these things resonate, but you need to be free. And again, similar to escaping to thrive. You need a sense of freedom for you and your family. For some people, they've ended a relationship and they have a lot of bills, or they have to pay a large amount of child support. And so exceeding hugely will give them back a sense of their own freedom so they can fulfill those obligations. The third one is change fuel. And so a lot of older people who have been in the industry for a while and are feeling tired or jaded, and have succeeded a lot, will really resonate in this particular category in my experience. They really want to change the industry. They are so sick of seeing things happen within their industry that are not good. In other words, the clients or the customers are treated terribly. There's not a lot of transparency, and they want to change the industry. They might even want to change society a little bit. They might want to change the culture around them. And so they feel like, look, I need massive success to build a platform for me to really begin to change things, really move into thought leadership. Again, a bit more financial success is important. Now, this always nearly involves some kind of innovation. So if you're feeling change fuel, you're probably going to be an innovator of some kind. So some of this might resonate with a few of you. You might be thinking, look, I feel the need to change my industry, or change society, or change the culture, but I'm under-resourced and I need to succeed in my business first. Well, this can be a major drive for that success. Others are really altruistic and are driven mostly by helping others. And this is really powerful. They might want to just really help individual lives, people every day. You're so motivated. Like every day I get out of bed and I can help other people in a stressful transaction. I can put them into property. I can get them life insurance. I can help them with stocks. Whatever it is you do, you feel incredibly motivated by helping others. And so you might set a goal here. Look, I'm going to help 100 people in the next year transform their lives. Well, that would be a powerful goal if that's a key motivator. You might be motivated by adding life to to people, look, I just really enjoy the relational side of my work and adding a bunch of life where I do this. Or I want to remove stress from people. It's so stressful. So these are sort of some ways that people really can be motivated primarily by removing stress or providing shelter for a specific group of people. There might be a group of people who are without homes, and you have this dream of helping others through Habitat for Humanity or any particular charity or through your own innovations. You might have this goal here, and it might be a primary motivator for you. Again, elevating a group. There might be a group in your society who are really discriminated against, and when it comes to housing in your particular neighborhood, well, this might be a primary goal for you. So again, raise your hand if any of this resonates with any of you. See, someone just popped up. Brilliant. Single mother housing. That's my big dream. I love that. That is so powerful. And I want to tell you today, in the next 5 days, if we can help propel you further towards that, I will be so happy. That will make my everything worthwhile. And someone else says, I work with homeless youth, age 15 to 22. Again, incredible. So imagine how more success in your career right now could allow you to help even more people. And that's a compelling story. The person who said that, it's difficult to say no to somebody who stands up and says, I want to help homeless youth. And the only way I can do it is by growing my business. Will you help me? You have to be a bit of an ass to say no to somebody with a dream that's good. Here's somebody else. Support for teens from troubled families with housing and completing school. We took in a couple like that through our own team. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So these things, this motivation of helping others is an incredibly powerful storytelling tool. I'm not going to call it a marketing tool because sometimes marketing has a manipulative feeling. And tomorrow, we're going to look at how we can take this rocket fuel and turn it into a powerful story that causes people to resonate with what you're doing and actually gets them wanting to help you in your business and in your dream. So it's very cool. I am blown away that so many people on this call are resonating with number 4, with helping others. It speaks to the quality of who you are as individuals. Not that any of the other motivations are wrong. Okay, and obviously we need a bit of each one of them, probably. And throughout our life narrative, will change from one motivational category to the other. But this is incredibly inspirational, and I'm very ecstatic for you guys. Okay, so let's move on. Contribution. Some of you are going to be motivated solely by contribution. I want to contribute wherever I go. Now, this has a certain feel that can be a little glib. So we want to get very defined on how we're contributing, very specific. And the thing about rocket fuel is when it gets very specific and pure, it's very powerful. And we'll look at this in the next little while on this training today. Number 5, community fuel. So some people, I've had clients here who are really motivated by their community and elevating their particular community, their place where they live. And this is a very big fuel for them. They might want to be eradicating a problem, like a specific problem, but their focus isn't nationwide or generic. It's specifically focused on their little community. They might be motivated to be involved in community leadership, and so growing their business and their brand and getting well known in the community is a powerful tool. They might want the freedom, the financial freedom to engage more in their community. They're spending so much time hustling and having to make their business work that for you, you're like, I need more freedom. I need to succeed more so I'm freed up to engage in my community and make a real difference. Again, sometimes happens when you're a little older. And this particular fuel, nearly always involves a strong connection and history with your community. So if you've just moved to your community, unless you're an incredibly community-minded person, which some people are, most likely this fuel won't resonate. It's for people who really feel a strong calling or tie to the ground in which they live and the people around them. So be aware of that. So those are the five different types of fuel. And I know you guys have been responding a bunch to a lot of them. And people on the call who have been keeping quiet are probably also responding. And I want you to be aware that your rocket fuel is multifaceted. It's personal and it's dynamic. And it's found in the overlap of all these things. It's found in wanting to change things. It's found in your family. It's found in helping others. It's found in your dreams. And it's found in your community. So there's often a big overlap, and we're trying to find the things that work for you in the moment and in the future. We're not worried about the past. We've got to leave that behind. What motivated you in the past isn't important. What's important is what motivates you and fuels you now. So why do I say this? And this is sometimes a little controversial. I know there are some people on this call today who have no trouble cursing. Is there anybody who says, look, I really hate the idea of ever saying a bad word? If there is, there's no judgment. Just let me know if that's you, because I don't want to push you to do something that you won't do, and I'm not going to ask you to do it out loud either. But if you really dislike any form of cursing, just let me know so I can tailor this for you. Anybody have a problem with it? Anybody? See this diagram here? It says down the bottom right hand corner, says we're one finger away from peace. Okay, let me pull this up. I can curse in a foreign language. Well, that's a brilliant and beautiful thing. So what I've found doing these trainings is that sometimes hanging a curse word on something really helps us establish what matters most to us. Because we have all these things that we think should be important to us, that we think should fuel us. But yeah, like changing your community is a really good thing. If I'm honest, it doesn't really motivate me. But I think it's a good thing, and it motivates others. But I'm not angry enough about the state of my community. I'm not frustrated enough about it to want to change it. I'm actually pretty happy with it. There's not too much. I don't get bothered by it too much. Now, my wife gets bothered by it a whole deal more, so it might be motivating to her, right? One of the ways to find your rocket fuel is to go to a place of anger and frustration. Too often, when we're dealing with motivation, we look at the positive, when the reality is most human beings are motivated by negative things that force them to want to change and grow. We know countless stories of people who have done incredible things with their lives, and one of the commonalities is they grew up without the things that they achieved later. So often we are motivated by, look, I grew up stinking poor. There's no way my family are going to do that. And we curse. In our minds, we say, screw that. I am not going to let that happen to my kids. And that's really motivating. Also, I'm not going to let it happen to anybody else's kids. Or being a solo mom is so fucking tough. I am not going to let that happen to other solo moms. I'm going to fight for them. I'm going to change the landscape for them. I'm going to give them hope. They're going to have things that I didn't have, that other people haven't had, because I'm going to make a difference. And so going to where that anger, personal anger and frustration is a powerful tool. Now, most other trainings won't let you go there because they're all about being positive, but it's fake. It's not grounded in reality. It's not saying, look, this is where I am. This is how I actually feel, and I'm going to change things. And I'm going to be motivated by it because it's existing in me every day. Now, remember the story I told you about my son wanting a husky? I don't really like the fact that he says that 5 times a day. Dad, I want a dog. Dad, we need a new home. Dad, I want a dog. I really want a dog, Dad. Like he really wants a dog. And there's part of me that can make a choice here. I can say, no, son, we can't get a dog. And I can shut it down. Or I can say, Gabriel, I really want you to have a dog too. When I was 5, that's all I wanted. We are going to find a way. And I can use the frustration of this child asking me time and time again for what he wants as a fuel to grow my business, or I can use it as a fuel to shut everything down. And so it's your choice. So the anger and the frustration is a very powerful tool. It's where you find what matters most to you. We find that in the place of frustration, nearly always. You know, I can say, I'm not going to have a business. I'm not going to have a business that doesn't provide for my children to see my mom one more time. I'm absolutely not going to do it. This is going to succeed because this is so important. Or I can say, I'm going to change the real estate industry because the consumers are getting shat on and abused. Now, when I put a curse word into those sayings, I know which one I feel the most. So what I'm asking you guys to do is to imagine that where is your passion? Where is your focus? What can you not avoid thinking about constantly? What consumes your thoughts? Why must you not fail? Why must you not fail? What will happen if you don't succeed ever? It's horrible, scary thought for me to think of my son never having a husky, never having a dog. That breaks my heart. Of him not seeing my mom one more time. This is motivating to me. Yeah, I care about the things you care about, but I care about this most because it's in my life right now. Now, it will change for me for sure. Once my son has a husky and once we have a house, it's got to become something else. Can't stay in the past, but use what's bothering you right now and use it as incredible fuel and transform it into positive action. We're not bitching and staying in the one place with what's frustrating us. We're using it and saying, what must I do to succeed right now? And so for those of you wanting to provide for family, what will happen if you don't succeed? Why must you succeed? And too often we hedge our bets and we have other options. And so success doesn't become paramount, but it must. It must become absolutely vital, important, and critical. You must throw all your energy into one basket. You must stop having too many outs. Yes, you can have options and you can have multiple sources of income. That's fine. But if you have too many escape routes, then you're not focused on success and it won't quite work for you. So make it imperative that you succeed. And then you'll have rocket fuel and then you'll have energy. And we're going to work on purifying your rocket fuel in the group in the next action item. How do you constantly remain fueled? What are your techniques for remaining fueled? Let's have a look at these as we begin to wrap up. And I have some things that are kind of key here. I think we should write it down daily till it gets in us. And it should be one sentence, really, one or two sentences. And it can change. It could be different at the start of the day to the end of the day. But we want to be extremely clear as to why we must succeed. And we want to hook it to a frequent experience. Notice what I said about my son asking for a husky. He's helping me hook in the importance of success for me. Every time he asks me, every time my daughter looks at me, I can think and choose to think, I'm going to succeed for you. I'm going to make it for you. We're going to have a brilliant life together. Every time you see a solo mom or experience being a solo parent yourself, that person on the call that said this, that can be fuel for you. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to make a difference for this group of people. So if there is a constant pinch that happens to you, hook your rocket fuel to that and let it inspire you rather than shrink you. If it's a family member that you have to provide for as you get older, every time you see them, think about that. Think about how you're going to succeed for them, how you're going to transform their life, and allow it to change. As I said, allow this refueling to change. Don't try and fuel yourself up with yesterday's fuel. Don't try and, if you write it down daily and you write the same thing down every day, after about 4 or 5 days, for me, I'm going to not really feel it so much anymore. So I might have to use different words or different colors. And so we do want to keep our motivation by writing it down frequently, but by allowing it to change, to deepen, to grow, to be bigger than you ever imagined. It's going to start off as one thing, but it's going to grow deeper and wider and more consuming and more obsessive even, to the point where it really is yours. And share it with others. And we're going to look at that tomorrow, how we can share our fuel with others, because we'll draw other people to our brands and our businesses who have the same fuel. Now, for example, the person who wants to help solo mom, I'm really aware of that person somewhat. Now, there may be a whole team of people that you're going to draw to you. You may have a whole team of solo moms working in real estate that you're helping, that you're working with, that are in that business with you, Who knows how big the vision can grow? We don't want to put a limit on it by writing down the same thing every day. We want to be exploring the vision consistently. And we want to make it part of your brand. It needs to be start to become very clear that this is why you're doing what you're doing, because it's going to invite others to join you. And we want to reinforce it with success. So every time I get a little more, get a couple more clients, for example, I'm a little closer to that husky, right? Maybe go make a down payment on one. I don't know if you can do that, right? But that's the point. Like every time you help one more family, that's that's a down payment on your success. So we want to be reinforcing it with success and reminding ourselves, I'm not doing it for me so much. I'm doing it for my dream, for my family, for my community, for change. And so that's the way that success will reinforce itself. So my question to you guys today is there an object or an experience that you can have daily that will both anger you and inspire you? Because sometimes we have to put ourselves into an environment to inspire and fuel us more. For example, if you want to help kids through college, then maybe you need to get more involved in your kids' college life. Maybe that will help inspire you more. You become more in love with their dreams and what they're trying to achieve, right? And so thinking about this, is this something that you can do that will inspire you and maybe anger you a little more? Have any of you got any ideas? Put your hand up if you do. Any ideas? Anything coming to mind? Any little rub that you'll get every day? Is there a phone call you need to make? Is there a choice you need to make? Is there a place you need to visit? Do you need to go eat your lunch in a part of your community which really needs to be changed? Are you loving that community but not in the community? Okay, so we have to make some life changes sometimes that will empower us and energize us more. Yes, someone just said, talked about their child. They said when they ask for things they can't afford yet, I say, I'm working for a kid. Soon we'll have it all. I love that. I love that. That is perfect. That is very pure motivation for something that is the most important thing for you in your life right now. And I know that's connected to other things that you want also. So I absolutely honor that. That's a great cue, and to consistently work from that place and say, these are the things I'm doing every day, so we'll have it all. It's going to be powerful for you too. Very good. Any others? Just pop them in as we go. I put mine here. I got to look at huskies all the time, right? And my son Gabriel, who's just such a beautiful kid, who's reaching out there. He's reaching out, trying to grab the husky. He really, really wants a dog. And I, of all people, who had the same experience as a kid, should allow that to motivate me fully and 100%. So don't avoid the things that are making you uncomfortable. Welcome them. Let them frustrate you, and they will inspire you to fall in love with your work all over again. We might not love the daily tasks. We certainly don't love those obstacles and challenges we put down, frustrating clients, dishonest colleagues. They are not fun, and they'll never be fun, and you'll never be rid of them. However, you can step past them quickly when all you have to say is, I'm doing this for my son. I'm not going to worry about you. Like, you are unimportant in your mind. You're saying this. You're unimportant in comparison to this. I'm going after this. You stay there being dishonest and grumbling and unkind, because I'm going this way. I'm going this way for my son. All right? And so this is why we want to hang on to these important things. So let's look at sending your business to the moon in the next 5 days. Let's get very motivated and very sure of the fuel that we need. And let's look at the next steps for you right now. In the Rejuvenator Hub, there will be an action item with a worksheet that will help you clarify your why. Now, that will be up in the next 2 to 3 hours. So just be aware of that. Download it and just do it. Get really clear on what your why is, and then share it into the group if you feel comfortable. And if you're watching this and you've not yet signed up for the 5-day Rejuvenator training, I'd love to have you join us if you want these things. If you want a massive boost, if you want more clarity for the future, if you want to avoid the ebb and flow of your business, the ups and downs of cash flow, if you're wanting to generate more referrals, if you want lifetime access to this material, it's as cheap as it we're going to get. If you want to fall in love with your work again, then please sign up. Now, as you can see in the chat, I've got the link to it right here that I'm going to paste. So you can sign up to it right here, $47 only, and it'll be very, very powerful. I'm going to go ahead and show you what the inside of the hub looks like as well, if you haven't seen it, so you know exactly how to use it. So this here is the Rejuvenator hub. So you'll be able to come in here and go for gold. So you can see here, at the moment, there's introductions to everything. Going to have to get the main lesson. This lesson here will be up and available for you guys. And then it'll be an action step each day, creating your powerful reason why. Tomorrow, there'll be a recorded main lesson. Won't be live like today. Where we're going to be looking at how can you tell your story, share your rocket fuel a little bit in a way on social media that gets other people saying, yes, I'm in. I'm going to do anything to help them. And a big part of that is going from the mind to the heart. And so when we can express an emotional element to our reason for success, people get involved. They want to feel good. And part of building a brand and building and energizing your sphere of influence around you is connecting with them emotionally. It's not enough for them to want to help you to sell more properties or sell more insurance. They want to know why it's important. When they know why, they feel really good about helping you. So this is where we're going to be doing all the work here. You can join the Facebook group, sign up for other live trainings, etc. So that's what you get access to, all the trainings for a lifetime when you come to this page and sign up here. So again, $47 right now if you sign up today. So that's what I just wanted to share with you very quickly. If you haven't signed up, I'm looking really forward to the next 5 days. This work is motivating for me, and it's motivating for you also. So I do want to help you fall in love with what you have to, what you're wanting to do with your lives. It's not one thing for everybody. Many people have multiple motivations. So register and then contact me if you want to talk things through via Facebook chat. You'll all have access to my chat, and so we can talk it through, get really clear on your rocket fuel, and then we'll get really clear on the story that you need to tell to involve others. And then we're going to help you begin to create a business or reframe your business so it's more referral centric. Activate your referral partners so they want to help you build into your big reason why. And we're going to show you how to do that in the next 5 days. I believe it's going to be transformational. I'm looking forward to the journey. Join me, and we'll do this. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll talk to you all soon.